Begin tonight with the death of Dolly Parton at the age of 80, one of the most unifying forces in American public life.
Dolly Parton spent her entire life making people smile. But the final chapter of her remarkable life was far more emotional. In the days surrounding her death, details about her health, her final wishes, and the words she reportedly left behind have touched millions of fans. Born on January 19, 1946, in Sevierville, Tennessee, Dolly grew up as one of 12 children in a poor but loving family. Their small cabin in the Great Smoky Mountains had very little money, but it was filled with music, stories, faith, and family. Dolly began singing in church and writing songs while she was still a child. After graduating high school in 1964, she moved to Nashville with a dream of becoming a songwriter. Her talent quickly attracted attention, and in 1967, Porter Wagoner invited her to join his television show. The opportunity introduced Dolly to millions of viewers, but she eventually knew she had to build a career of her own. When she left Wagoner's show, she wrote one of her most famous songs, "I Will Always Love You." It became a major hit and helped establish Dolly as a solo superstar. Then came songs like Jolene and 9 to 5, along with successful movies including The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas and Steel Magnolias. Dolly eventually became far more than a singer. She was an actress, songwriter, producer, businesswoman, philanthropist, and the force behind Dollywood. But behind the fame was a deeply private marriage. Dolly met Carl Dean shortly after arriving in Nashville. They married on May 30, 1966, and remained together for nearly 6 decades. While Dolly became one of the most recognizable entertainers on earth, Carl avoided the spotlight almost completely. Their unusual relationship became the subject of endless rumors, but Dolly repeatedly defended their marriage and explained that Carl simply preferred privacy. Their independence from one another became one of the reasons their relationship lasted so long. Then, on March 3, 2025, Carl Dean died at 82. His death was a devastating personal loss for Dolly. And in the months that followed, her own health began to decline. Dolly postponed and eventually canceled her planned Las Vegas residency after acknowledging serious health challenges. She spoke about problems involving her immune and digestive systems, kidney-related issues, and the physical toll of an incredibly demanding life. Even then, Dolly continued looking toward the future. She still had projects she wanted to complete and remained determined to keep working. But on August 25, 2026, Dolly Parton died peacefully in Nashville at the age of 80. Her nephew, Brian Siver, announced the heartbreaking news on her social media accounts. According to Siver, Dolly had personally asked him years earlier to make the announcement when the time came. But perhaps the most emotional detail was Dolly's reported final wish. She wanted to rest in a beautiful bed of plush cotton. Siver explained that after a lifetime of wearing heavy rhinestones, elaborate costumes, wigs, and high heels, Dolly deserved to finally be comfortable and get some rest. Those simple words seemed to capture something deeply meaningful about her final chapter. Dolly Parton spent her entire life working, performing, creating, helping others, and making people happy. She rose from poverty to become one of the most beloved entertainers in the world. And after decades of carrying the weight of fame, her final reported wish was remarkably simple: comfort, peace, and rest. Dolly's story was never only about fame. It was about determination, resilience, love, and refusing to let humble beginnings define her future. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Prestige Buzz, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss our latest stories about the lives, careers, and final moments of the stars we grew up watching.